On average, each year, roughly 60 tornadoes will touch down across the state of Florida. In 2024 alone, over 100 would occur. This is my story of how I chased the 2024 Florida tornado season.
Candlelights and empty souls quietly behind the doors are bleeding us just for fun. Men of power telling lies with shifty hands and thirsty eyes, and they can smell your fear like blood. Oh, my weary soul, we met your kind before. Set fire to us all.
During the evening of January 8th through January 9th, 2024, a deadly cocktail of environmental conditions would force the Storm Prediction Center to issue an enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms for most of North Florida. Over the hours, multiple significant tornadoes would touch down and wreak havoc across Florida. By 8:15, one person would already be dead and 19 others would be injured. Severe thunderstorms continue to move across North Florida throughout the late morning and afternoon, eventually approaching the Tampa Bay region, where I would position myself near the Sunshine Skyway fishing pier. As the main line of storms began to move in, strong gusty winds caused waves to crash along the Skyway fishing pier. I decided to pull out my anemometer and record a gust of 42.7 miles per hour, however, gusts could have easily been higher. To the north, a brief E of 0 touched down in St. Petersburg and caused some roof damage to one apartment. This devastating tornado outbreak marked my very first storm chase and indicated what Florida had in store this season. For the next few months, I failed to document any notable events. However, during the spring and early summer, my main focus was capturing the development of cloud formations, which I managed to do pretty well. Day after day, I recorded thunderstorm after thunderstorm, and eventually I was able to document the 3 stages of a thunderstorm. The developing stage is marked by a cumulus cloud that is being pushed upwards by a rising column of air, also known as an updraft. Soon, the cumulus cloud begins to look like a tower as the updraft continues to develop. Eventually, the thunderstorm enters the mature stage, which is when the updraft continues to feed the storm, but precipitation begins to fall out the storm, creating a downdraft. When strong updrafts and downdrafts coexist and rain-cooled air spreads out along the ground, it forms a gust front, or a line of gusty winds, like this. In this stage, the storm has considerable depth, often reaching 40 to 60,000 feet, or 12 to 18 kilometers. The mature stage is the most dangerous stage and most likely time for hail, heavy rain, frequent lightning, strong winds, and even tornadoes. Eventually, the thunderstorm finally enters the dissipating stage, in which a large amount of precipitation is produced and the updraft is overcome by the downdraft. At the ground, the gust front moves out a long distance from the storm and cuts off the warm, moist air that was feeding into the thunderstorm. Light rain and weak outflow winds may remain for a while during this stage, before leaving behind just a remnant anvil top. As the peak of Florida's rain season began to approach, afternoon thunderstorms became more common, and I was able to capture quite a few nice lightning bolts. For example, on July 14th, a dangerous thunderstorm would put on a show of spectacular lightning. Only a few days later, I would come face to face with the true power of a lightning strike. After a short detour, I would find myself on a balcony in Daytona Beach watching a dissipating thunderstorm produce beautiful lightning. While these after-dark lightning captures were indeed beautiful, July 20th and 21st take the spot for the best lightning captures of the season. The 2024 Atlantic hurricane season had a rather slow start, with only 3 tropical systems forming by August. However, record high ocean temperatures and an explosive Category 5 hurricane to start off the season indicated something was rather different this time around. By August 1st, it was clear some sort of tropical system would impact the state of Florida, and by August 3rd, Tropical Storm Debbie had formed. Throughout the early morning of August 4th, rain bands associated with Debbie would begin to move across Florida, with embedded rotation being observed in the strongest supercells. Sensing an opportunity, I would leave my house in an attempt to chase and hopefully document a tornado.
I saw the devil, the king contrary man, saw the devil down the long, long road. He said to me, boy, he said to me, boy, he said to me, boy, I want your soul. No, no, you can't take my soul.
As the afternoon threat of tornadoes diminished across west central Florida, I would hunker down for the rest of the event at home. Occasional tornadic supercells moved across my area throughout the night, but nothing serious posed a threat. In the morning, I decided to go out and survey what damage I could observe. In my local area, most damage was rather negligible, with the main damage being consolidated to trees. In September, I would be given another opportunity to storm chase with the arrival of Hurricane Helene. However, strong storm surge would compromise my lookout position, and I would be forced to abandon my spot. Unfortunately, this would be the last time I would storm chase in 2024. I would conduct another detailed survey of my local community after Hurricane Helene moved through. Due to Helene's unusually large wind field, damage was more widespread and severe compared to Debbie. Most trees had large branches snapped, with isolated tree uprootal occurring. Mobile home communities would be significantly affected, with some mobile homes experiencing considerable damage, and well-constructed residences would have noticeable roof damage. While Hurricane Debbie and Helene gave these communities some insight on how to better prepare for tropical systems, nothing could prepare them for what was to come.
This is a lot different than Helene.
Emergency crews across the state of Florida are preparing for this monster hurricane.
Everyone is leaving.
A wedge tornado near Clewiston, Florida. That's near Lake Okeechobee.
As Hurricane Milton's fury began to come to an end, I would cautiously exit my home and survey my local community one last time. Near my home, a mobile home park which I had already surveyed twice in 2024 would be completely devastated. Almost every single manufactured home here would be damaged from Hurricane Milton. Numerous homes would experience significant roof and siding damage, with some homes being completely destroyed. In the worst case scenarios, homes burned down throughout the night with no one there to stop it. Words cannot explain how much devastation my local community experienced this hurricane season. In all, I was able to document over 400 areas that were impacted by Hurricane Milton. To find some peace after an extremely hectic season, I would attempt to enjoy my last few months of the year with my friends. Luckily for us, after Milton, the rest of 2024 would remain fairly quiet across Florida, and we were able to breathe a sigh of relief. That's all for now, folks. If you made it this far, I hope you enjoyed the video. After living through 3 back-to-back hurricanes, I can knowingly say, I hope next year's stormy season will be fairly quiet.